Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Witches and Wine. This is the show where we talk about witchy stuff. You want to drink that wine really bad.
It's so good.
It is really good. And hold on, we're blurry. And we drink wine. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This might be some of the best wine we've had on this show.
It's definitely a favorite.
So before we do start our show, let's go ahead and turn it over to our wine connoisseur, my husband, my partner in crime, my lover.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what was that face?
Not a good one. You made that face.
I know. Silent as Stardust, take it away.
Hey guys, as you can see this week we're a little more coherent and a little easier to understand.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last week we had ourselves a pretty good time and it was super hot outside, and that wine caught up with us.
And the heat.
And the heat and everything. So we're going to be a lot more on point this week.
Yes.
But tonight...
What is the wine we're drinking?
Hey, I had to disclaimer it. So tonight...
Oh my god, our show should come with a disclaimer. Because one of my guests... And I won't say who, but you know who you are, one of my instructors at school. Belladonna.
Hey, you know names?
She said that she quit drinking wine after she drank all that wine with us when she was here. So, we should come with a disclaimer if you're a guest on our show or just within the vicinity of us. Wine happens.
Yep.
All right, tell us about the wine.
Tonight, I chose a San Gregorio Grenacha from Spain.
You gotta hold it up more because people like to see it. There we go.
San Gregorio Grenacha.
I'll hold it. I'll be Vanna White. Talk about it.
As I said, it's from Spain. It's a single source grape, which means the grapes all come from the same vineyard. You see this on a lot of higher end bottles, but this bottle only runs you $10-15 a bottle, so it's very rare to see something with a single sourcing such as this with a 93-point rating. I mean, incredibly tasty.
Super good.
A lot of cherry and a little bit of spice comes through on it. A nice medium body. Can't recommend
like
this.
mine.
Yes, like yours, sweetie.
I'm sorry.
I sampled this for the first time a few days ago, and was very impressed, and had been wanting to bring it home to have Lola try. And so we decided to use it tonight, and she's very, very happy I chose it.
It's really good. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, sweetie.
It's such good wine, and let's clink and drink. All right. All right.
And to throw something else in there, it's all the way up at 15% alcohol, which is very high for European wine.
That's why we had to start the show before we...
Yeah, we didn't want to get too far into it. Like last week.
I go, that's 15%. Let's start filming now before we get through this bottle. Yeah, or even a glass. This is my first glass. Big pour. We call these the Lola pours.
Yeah, so there's a Lola pour.
It happens.
Anyway. You ever seen
Anyway.
the show Cougar Town?
The big white. Yeah. Yes, that's me. All right, so tonight we wanted to talk about divination and the different types of divination that we use or have used. I'm only covering what we have done, and then we'll talk about other forms that we have not had a chance to use. But one divination that I enjoy, would you like to talk about the one that you like to use?
I do a couple different divinations. One is through a medium, and I use the runes, which is a long story. I don't want to get into the details because it's a very, very long story of how Odin came forth to learn about the knowledge to provide that the runes bring forth and how they help with divination. But the set that I use is made out of acorns. And this was made for me by some friends, Jessica Papineau.
And her husband.
And her husband, Josh.
Josh, that did our coven tattoos.
Yeah, coven tattoos.
You have yours.
Got mine right there.
Yeah.
And they were given to me by her upon us first meeting and hanging out. Within a couple hours, she goes, "No, I've been trying to sell these, and I don't need to sell these. I need to give them to you because they're meant for you. And I can't thank you enough, Jessica, if you're watching. Thank you again. We put them to good work." But I have, when I'm using them, there's many different methodologies, just like other mediums for people that do divination stuff. I do the true casting of the bones concept, where you don't reach in the bag and grab something out. You drop the runes and let them bounce and go where they go.
Sorry, I gotta turn the TV off. It's putting up blue. Go ahead.
And based on that, I have a methodology I've developed that takes and helps get me the answers of current, past, and future through the runes and how they connect with each other. And I very well understand and makes sense to me when I'm reading it. And I seem to be pretty accurate when I do it for people. The runes don't lie. I
had told someone, one of my clients today, actually a couple of them today, about how I was saying my husband uses the runes. I said, and someone said, "What are the runes like?" And I said, I've used them a few times, but to me they appear to be. They just don't bullshit. Like they just get right to the point.
There is no middle ground. If you're doing something that is causing you to stagnate in life, Issa will appear and tells you are putting a wall of ice up and blocking yourself.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? You're in self-control of it. Get past the stagnation.
Get past it. Yeah.
There are other ones like Tharus, which is thorn, and that means that you are doing something to create your own prickly path. And it doesn't sugarcoat it. It tells you straight up, this is what you're doing. Fix it. You're in the power here. Don't try to place blame elsewhere. These are the factors. You know what it is. Do it.
And I had said that I like the runes, but I like using tarot cards because there's different ways you can interpret it, and I like to focus on the different avenues with runes. I almost said with Thors because you said thorns. And it's like the Thor rune. Anyway, they're just so much more direct, and that's great. But sometimes people need a couple of options, right?
Yeah,
and these don't really.
Well, they tell you
to stop doing it, idiot.
Yeah.
That's the option.
And they tell you how you can get there, but they're telling you that be aware that this is how it's going to be. But you can get to where you're trying to go. I mean, if the reading comes out that way, so forth. But to be aware of the pitfalls and everything that could be along the way. There's times when you'll do a rune reading, and everything is just rainbows. I mean, it's like you have whatever you're asking about right now. Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no, you might have trouble. No, it's flat out tells you everything's going awesome. You got stability. You got future. You got, home. All the things that you need. Yeah. And so it's not just a negative thing. I've had amazing readings through runes that was just, glowing lights and everything.
So why not pick a rune? Can I pick a rune?
Yeah.
And I'd like to pick a rune, and I'm going to ask a question. Do you need anything, or are you good with?
I'm pretty comfortable with it, and if I may have to step out to figure something, but I think I should be able to get it with it.
I wanted to just ask the runes if we're on the right track with Witches and Wine, the show that we're doing. So, oh no, this one. Oh yeah. Oh, there it goes.
This is
it wanted to run away.
This was Gebo.
Oh my gosh, Gebo's good, right?
No, Gebo in this case is not what you wanted.
What is Gebo?
Gebo in this one is.
I thought Gebo was. See, I'm not.
No, but because you dropped it and it means it's going away. That means that it did not want to be found in.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah,
see, in tarot, whatever drops out,
it matters if it drops straight in your lap, or like if it drops and lands straight up. This bounced and rolled as far away from me as it possibly could.
But what does Gebo mean?
Gebo is generally joy.
So,
but in this case, that means it might means that we're maybe getting too much joy out of this and not doing enough work or something like that. I mean, it could be like that. They're saying
maybe our demeanor is just way too joyful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do over.
I will laugh if you draw it again, because I did put it back in the bag.
Fehu?
Fehu. She got Fehu.
Fehu is
abundance. Wealth.
Abundance, yeah, wealth.
It's wealth. It means that we're gonna grow from this, and we're gonna get more out of it. And this is, I mean, it may not be financial, but I mean, we're gonna get some kind of abundance out of this. We're gonna grow from it, and we're gonna gain, whether it's knowledge, fame, whatever.
So you think the joy was running away because it's like, no, I don't want to be read.
It was, we're saying, I think it was more of like a grounding in the saying of, after last week's performance, that we need to be a little more respectful of our audience and our condition when we're speaking to our audience.
It's witches and wine, and disclaimer, wine is, we partake in wine, and we partake in some of the sacred herb. And we probably shouldn't have done a show after being out in 100 degree weather. Seriously, I just couldn't talk because I'm not. Anyway, and celebrating all day in the heat, and we had been drinking because we didn't have to go anywhere,
and we were celebrating Lovis, and we had eaten a ridiculous amount of foods, but it didn't matter as much as we had consumed as a group. That
we were feeling like, I almost didn't post it, but we don't hide anything. No. We're a coven that has a lot of fun, but we also know things, and so if you watch last week's and you're like, this is really unprofessional, or they're just ridiculous, or whatever.
That was an anomaly.
That's an anomaly.
In comparison to other episodes.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Yeah. So, Fehu.
Yeah, so Fehu, abundance, wealth, it means that we're gonna get something out of this, and hopefully others are getting the same thing we do, because we have a lot of fun doing this. We feel like we learn a lot, whether it's from us talking or when some of our guests come in.
Yeah.
I know that I have learned tons of information from some of our guests.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I think that's a great room.
Yeah, that was a perfect room to be drawn. And the fact that Judy, you said, no, this is the one. This is the one, and that's what we had to go with.
So
that's what I work. And then the other one I do is psychometry, which is a whole nother concept of, that's when you come in contact with something, whether it's a person, an object, place, and when you feel the energy of it, you get some kind of message. Whether, like for me, I get stories. I get something that's happened in the past, and I get a full visual imagery in my head, and it plays out like a movie in my head, and I know that something is really good there, really off there, something strange happens. And like I said, it could just be, for me, it's generally going to a location, but it's, without having met the people that live there or have been there, I can see their faces. I know the story, what goes on in the house.
You also know how to find things.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's the same concept.
Yeah, he knows how to find things like Hermes.
Yeah, where I focus on it, and I get not the exact location, but a region with about where it's located, within generally 3 to 4 feet of where it's going to be at.
Yeah.
So those are what I use. Now, my much more talented wife over here, Laura, she has many different objects that she works with, and we'll start with her most frequent method, she already mentioned, which is tarot.
Yeah, so tarot has spoken to me for a very, very long time. Over 20 years ago, I did it for a while, tried different cards. I had a deck that I loved, and then life gets in the way, and all that stuff, and so I kind of went away from it for a while, and then I came back, slowly but surely came back, and probably within the last 5 years I have been wanting to perfect it more, because I think that I know what needs to be improved and all that. And now, just recently, at 46 years old, finally, I've come into it, and I've been doing readings for clients, and they're really, really happy, and it just feels right to me. So the deck that I use, and I have a few decks, but this is the one that just speaks to me. Can you hold that?
So you're saying you're ambidextrous? Oh yeah, and we do bad puns, dad humor all the time.
He's got such dad humor. So this is my Book of Shadows deck.
And which?
And this is the As Above. So it comes with 2, but the So Below is kind of hard to find. If you order this online, you will most likely get the box like this and only get the As Above deck. I think the So Below is a little hard to find, or you have to order it separate, which is weird because it comes with 2 places that you can put both, but whatever. I'm not worried about that. This is a deck that I use, and it works with the elements. So it's, you know, it's like Maiden of Air.
So
it's the 10 of Air. You know, it's.
So I know with the major arcana on this deck that it's not exactly lined up to, like, say
it's way different. With your basic.
Yeah, your standard decks.
So, like, with this, okay, so, like, an example, there's the Lammas card in here. It's called Lammas, and that's the equivalent to the devil.
Yeah.
There's Samhain, which is equivalent to the moon. And you can figure out the...
You want to show one of them so we can kind of get the idea? Like, isn't Beltane the lovers?
Beltane is the lovers. Let me find one that's...
So, and if she shows them...
Okay. Oh, wait, that's 2 of water.
You'll see
which
in the
almost
back
looks like Beltane.
that you'll see deity in a lot of the pictures. Like, there's a good one right there.
That's the plant. That's the... pick those up, honey.
Yeah, I'm talking about the deity.
Yeah, there's ones that have the deity, which is the fire cards, and it shows the planet and a deity. So this is 7 of fire.
So instead of wands or...
You know, and then... hold on. We have crone of earth. You know, it's very... it's just really different, and I love it. I'm trying to find... one. Okay, omens. Okay, so here's omens, which is the tower. Okay. But you don't know...
Bring it back a little bit, honey.
You don't have to know... You don't have to know the equivalent on this. You can just work with it itself.
Well, the imagery and the energy, because I noticed with you that...
Summerlands, and this is the Fool. Okay? But again, you don't need to know the...
Yeah.
The Fool. You don't need to know the equivalent for these, because they have such... For me... Sometimes I use the equivalent if it just jumps out at me.
If it speaks to you.
But other times I'm just like, you know, I'll look at it and I do what's called intuitive reading. Like, I've read all the books. I know what they are. Okay, I know, like, 2 of Wands or 2 of Cups is a, like, partnership, and you know, I understand that part of tarot, but I like intuitive reading, and intuitive can be looking at the picture. What does the picture mean? And so that's this I do intuitive reading with. I do have other decks that I do more traditional reading with. I have the Mythic Tarot, and then I have this cat deck that's really cool. That's a little more traditional. It's just cats. They put cats in it, but it's still 2 of Pentacles rather than 2 of water.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I have really good luck with these, and then
what was the? I'll take care of this one. What was the other deck that you were working with?
So I just started working with this deck. One of my coven sisters lent this to me to work with, and she does all her reading. Well, not all her readings, but she does a lot of her readings with it. And we had a night the other night where she said, "You need to work with this deck," and so this is the Hecate Tarot, and oh my God.
There's a lot of power in this deck. I have received readings from the owner of this deck.
This is the back side of them. And then
Aurora Morrigan, whatever we have a couple
Morrigan. We are priest and priestess. We should know her name.
I know her name. I said
Morrigan.
She has multiple names.
It's an inside joke.
Yeah.
This is 4 of Blades. But it doesn't even matter what it says. This is world soul. Like, it doesn't... There's no trying to equivalent. This is pure intuition and pure Hecate power.
Yeah, I was like, this is Hecate.
Oh my gosh. And I did...
Now, is it the mirrors, the dark mirrors concept with?
It's all of it. It's everything about Hecate. The keys, the dark mirrors, the... But then look at this. This is really light. This is mastery. That's mastery. But look at this is beautiful. So, I mean, there, like Hecate, there's dark and light with Hecate.
Oh, yeah. There's
Nine of Blades. I mean, this is just... So I did a reading. I use these for the first time with my clients. I had a regular client today and a new client. And I did... I feel like our heads are being cut off again.
Off with our heads.
Off with our heads. So I did some readings today with a client, regular client and a new client. And I don't know if it was because... oh my gosh. Sorry. Transformation. Oh my gosh. And then there's the Hecate wheel in the corner. Like these... this is just... And it was the most powerful reading I've ever done for people. And they felt it. Like my regular client, she... You know, we have a good... You know, good rapport. I do well for her with the readings, but this was amazing, and I don't know if it's because all three of us that were there. I'm a priestess of Hecate. One of my clients, the client that I have, my regular, she is getting into Hecate, and then the other person that was there had the Hecate wheel on her arm, and it was. So I don't know if it spoke to us powerfully because we follow Hecate. I'd be interested in doing it with someone who either has no idea who Hecate is or has never worked with Hecate. But all I can say is powerful cards.
Well, it's Hecate.
Powerful.
If there's anything that's ever described Hecate, it's going to be power.
And it was kind of that. So getting to the point, you know. Yeah. So
speaking of Hecate, I see something else you have over there in your land of toys.
Yes.
And that's a dark mirror. I have never worked with a dark mirror. I've heard Lola talk about it in her previous coven and on some of her own work. But I've really been curious, what are you really looking for when you're looking in a dark mirror?
This is dusty, I'm sorry. Well, it's dusty on the edges. And dark mirrors don't have to be like, look at, you can see our reflection. Hello! This is a picture frame with just a dark piece of paper behind it. This is used for scrying. Scrying is like when you look into a crystal ball, what shapes come into mind.
There's like water scrying,
you can do it crystal ball, and I like dark mirror scrying, which is a very Hecate thing. It's some dust in the corners. With the dark mirror, you look into it, and it's almost like you don't really focus. You kind of do the lazy eye focus, and you whatever you see, because you will see things that you need to see those things.
Now, do you recommend doing this in light, in a bunch of like ambient light or candlelight?
Kind of, for me, if it darker works better.
Okay.
Yeah, because you get to, like right now we have a lot of light in here.
Yeah.
So you're getting the reflection of us. That is actually kind of a cool shot.
Yeah, that's some old school movie tricks.
Look at that.
You can see the picture in the picture in the picture in the picture.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So darker room, maybe with a candle. And you're looking at candles as a way of divination too, and scrying.
When on this one, when you're working with dark mirrors and so forth, should you clean the space around you before you do, so you don't draw anything through?
Yeah, I mean, well, no, it's not like a Ouija board, but you want to be in a comfortable space, because the dark mirror, it's dark. It might show you things that you're not ready to see, especially if you work with Hecate or those dark goddesses like Morrigan, just Caradwyn,
just be ready, or if you're in a comfortable Hades or something like those.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay.
If somebody out who watches this, you can comment on if you work with Hades, I would love to talk to you on the show, because
we would definitely like to reach out, because we have questions about Hades.
I have some questions. Like, I love Hades, but I don't know if I could work with Hades. I'm just saying.
Daryl Delph, if you're out there.
He's invoked Hades. That's different.
Okay.
But, no, invoking Hades. Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah. We have a couple others we could ask, but I'd be curious to hear some of their takes, because I'll be honest, Hades scares me a little bit as a deity. I respect him, but I don't know about working with him.
I'm okay with Hades, because I get Hades, but I don't know how I would use him in work. I guess maybe getting in touch with that side of us that is just
you work with Persephone, his wife. It makes sense that you might be a little more drawn to...
I love Persephone.
I'm interested in Hades.
We're so off topic right now.
Oh yeah, it happens.
It's all right, it happens.
Okay, see, divination, dark, we got in the dark.
We got into the dark stuff.
Bring it back in. Reel it back in.
So there's other ways. I'm looking at our time, honey. In my there, yeah.
And then I know you do pendulum work sometimes.
Pendulum work is some of my favorite because it's really easy to do, I think, and it is. You'd be amazed. Like, if you haven't worked with a pendulum before, I suggest getting one. And this is a beautiful pendulum. It's got the chakra beads and quartz crystal. You can use any of your crystal necklaces that you have. Like, I got this black tourmaline, the quartz.
Now, when you're working with a pendulum, I've been reading about a lot of pendulum work recently. When you're working with it, you usually generally have a layout or something that you follow, so you can do yes or no questions with it.
Okay, so you can use it to find things. Because I got closer. Sorry. You can use it to find things. You can use a layout if you want. I never do. I just use my hand, and I do it really simple. Like, I just...
And when you put it over your hand, you're not supposed to move it. The crystal or the pendulum will do the work on its own.
Yeah, it'll work on its own. Well, I'm not moving it. Like, if I was moving it, this is me moving it, okay?
And now, that's me. That's really obvious. Yeah. It's overplayed.
Yeah, but you just let it get as still as you can. You hold it over your hand, and then I will establish yes and no. So I'll go, to me, I'm trying to get it to go still because I'm shaking.
It's like we do with our heads. We nod yes, so up and down is yes, and left and right is
so
no.
I'll go like, can they see? Is it, yeah.
Yeah, they can see.
See, I'm holding my hand weird, but, so I'll go, there's the fan on and stuff. I'll go, yes, 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 and look, it starts moving.
Yep.
Yes.
Now, is it a back and forth? Is it more of a circular?
I don't know what it's doing.
What, is there a difference in the message that if it comes?
No, if it goes in a circle when it's yes, then I'll know that a circle movement is yes.
Okay.
It's not always the same. I don't know, unless you guys out there do something different. But I'll establish my yes and no.
Okay.
And I usually just do it in my head because when I say out loud, I'm shaking my body.
Yeah.
So I'll establish right now what a yes and a no is. Actually, you know what? We can't because that fan is on and it's blowing it. So, but anyways, and then you can also hold it over maps to find, like, if you want to know where you want to go on vacation. I mean, but it's pendulum work is really easy, and play around with it. And oh my God, sorry, this is like falling, and you'll get the feel of it. It's a lot of fun.
So, those are the ones that we work with in our household. I know there's other divinations out there. Like
people read tea leaves.
Tea leaves, so yeah. We have some friends that do that one. Now, we have a friend that does the I Ching.
The I Ching.
I Ching or whatever it's called.
Some people say I Ching, some say I Ching, and some say I King.
Okay.
But yeah, I King or I Ching is the
Chinese.
It's the sticks that you count and
we have a friend that works with that, and
yeah, it's pretty cool.
That looks like a lot of work.
Yeah, and you do the coins too. They have I Ching coins.
So I'll let you take a drink. What are some other forms of divination that are out there?
As far as I know, I mean, you've got divination. I mean, people just have natural divination skills, like they can read energy.
So like mediumships and so
mediums, forth? But a lot of people use, like we learned earlier in one of our shows, using rock readings.
Mm-hmm.
I work with the ones I like. I don't know all of them, so please, if you subscribe to our channel and you use something, and if I'm missing it, I'm sorry. Put it in our comment. Put it in the comments. Say I use this.
Or you can email us at crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
That's crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
And that includes if you want to be a guest, or if you have questions, or if you want to join us in our audience.
Yeah, we usually have a studio audience the last couple days, or the last couple weeks we have not, but we will pick up again. And I think next week we've got a special guest.
Yep.
So you guys don't have to hear us talk. I mean, we love doing this, but we want to kind of, keep it
And we like to learn as well. And if we keep talking to each other, we don't learn that much because we live with each other.
We already kind of we're married. We know this shit.
But so when we bring in guests, we actually get to learn in the process, and that's why you'll see our interview process being different because we're really like, oh my God, tell me more.
Yeah.
I am learning something that I have not spoken about or learned about.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's about all for today. Thank you, Silenus, for bringing this super yummy wine. I highly suggest you get this wine. Like
it's not expensive at all, and it's a single source grape, which is unheard of to find at under $30-$40 for really nice.
He gets a discount because he works at the wine store, but it's still a really cheap price for an amazing
even
wine.
on its own, like I said, $10-$15 on its own, well worth the price.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Remember, be kind to one another, walk with the goddess, and until next time, blessed be.
Blessed be.
Bye, guys.
Bye.